Good morning, everyone. My name is Timothy Lee, and I'm a mining analyst here at Red Cloud Securities. We welcome Rohan Hazelton, President and CEO of NorZinc. He'll just speak to us about the company's high-grade Prairie Creek project in the Northwest Territories. Rohan, you have 10 minutes, then we'll have a 5-minute Q&A at the end of the session. Attendees, please feel free to ask questions using the Q&A link below.
Perfect. Great. Thanks, Tim. So as announced recently, we began a PEA, and the results of that PEA on an expanded 2,400 ton per day plan are imminent. We've already begun work on an updated bankable feasibility study expected in early Q2 22. We brought in new institutional investors in August and continue to have strong support from RCF, our major shareholder. We are progressing well on additional interim financing that will allow us to stay on track of overall schedule by building the first winter road and getting us to the next major milestone of feasibility, construction decision, and project financing by the middle of next year. Initial project financing discussions are advancing well, led by Oramet. Importantly, we also signed a renewed MOU with Boliden for a substantial increase in planned offtake of zinc concentrates. Negotiations are proceeding with several other buyers of the concentrates. Formal and informal offers have been received, which exceed total forecast mine production, even at the expanded throughput rate. And these negotiations will continue and are expected to proceed to formal agreements as we continue to develop the mine schedule. Importantly, we believe these agreements and proposals that we've received to date support our confidence in the quality and marketability of our concentrates. On the ESG side, we have a strong ESG commitment and strong community support. I personally have a strong commitment to both safety, environment, communities, and I was very pleased to join NorZinc and see that we really have shared values right through the whole organization, from the site level right through to the board level. We have a small physical and environmental footprint with a plan for 100% paste backfill of tailings, and therefore no tailings pond, and 100% water recycling. We also have a plan to convert the current energy source of diesel to LNG plant and bring in LNG with a partnership with NWT Power Corp. We have strong support from local First Nations and have signed full agreements with our primary partners of the Nahanni First Nation and the LKFN First Nation of Fort Simpson, and currently negotiating with the 80K First Nation of Fort Liard. On the geology side, Prairie Creek has, a significant exploration potential, which really adds to, what is already a mine build story. Looking at the graphic, the current reserves, which are shown in red and green, represent approximately a 10-year mine life at the 2,400 tons per day. And the inferred resources in blue, represent approximately another 10-year mine life. Therefore, about a decade or 8 million tons of ore for each kilometers of strike length. And you can see here from drill results from a hole 2 kilometers to the north and 2 kilometers deep, which intersected similar grades and identical mineralogy and lithology, supporting our internal view that the ore body will continue along strike. In addition, there's been significant drilling to the south of Prairie Creek, where the ore body expresses its surface and the original discovery was made. And it's very likely that what is today roughly a 20-year mine life, is doubled or even more and becomes a multi-generational mine and employer. As far as infrastructure plans, here you can see on the right the existing plant, which in many ways is in great shape for having been dormant for 40 years. The cold, dry climate helps. It's relatively dry in that part of the NWT. And you're looking at the ball mill on the right hand side, the existing 1,000 ton per day ball mill, and the flotation and thickener circuit beyond that. On the left, you can see and everything in red and bright blue will be new infrastructure. On the left, the paste plant. And as far as new infrastructure in the existing mill, which is about 50%, replacement or refurbishment of the existing infrastructure. At the bottom is water reclaim. To the right is the DMS or dense media separation circuit, which will remove at least 25% of the incoming ore and increase grades to the mill. And the paste plant on the left is as mentioned. Really, the crux of the project is the 180-kilometer access road is the key to the overall schedule. The schedule is comprised of 3 winter roads and 2 summer campaigns to build an all-season road, beginning with this year with a phase 1 or PWR Pioneer Winter Road, which is aimed primarily at geotech work and bringing in some equipment. The following winter would bring in 700 to 800 loads of equipment to begin construction and refurbishment. If geography and seasonality were not the constraints that they are, this mine could be operating within 15 to 18 months, which might be consistent with what you might think looking at pictures of the existing site. In any case, we'll be mining within 3 months of bringing in equipment in 2023, ramping up with about a 250,000 ton stockpile and turning on the mill in late 24. As far as upcoming catalysts, as mentioned, we will be announcing PEA results imminently. We've also working on MET results that are focused on mercury deportment, microprobe study that is really aimed at giving more detail and more representative information on mercury deportment to zinc, lead, and tailings or backfill. That'll allow us to continue with more detailed discussions with off-takers. The winter road, the beginning and construction of the winter road, offtake agreements continuing, especially after the MET results, permits in late Q1 or early Q2, feasibility in early Q2, and project financing in mid 22. In summary, we believe we have a viable path to production. We've got supportive shareholders, including RCF, who importantly provide significant technical support in addition to financial. And as you can see here from this picture of the site is mentioned, it is a very small both physical footprint and also we've designed a very small environmental footprint. We have a number of catalysts coming and we're very excited as a team and a board to get this project going and bring what's been ever since the beginning with Cadillac Silver and the Hunt brothers and bring this into production. Thank you very much.
Great. Thank you very much, Rohan, for the informative presentation. We'll now move on to the Q&A session. And we do have a question or two here. First, is there more drilling planned to try to upgrade some of that inferred resource?
We did some modest drilling this summer. We had a challenging time with the drilling and didn't get as much quite done as we would like. Depending on funding and financing, we might do so additional drilling along those lines, which is to convert some of the inferred, especially closer to the boundary of the reserves, and possibly something towards the back end, the sort of 2 kilometer and we're looking at a number of financing opportunities, especially geared towards toward exploration funding, and if that's available, we may make that choice.
Great. And looking forward to some of the project financing kind of things, you've got some agreements in place for kind of preliminary offtake agreements and things. Can you tell us about some of that and maybe about the potential for a silver streaming kind of agreements?
Sure. Yeah. No, as mentioned earlier, in broad strokes, and we have the Boliden MOU, which we've at least mentioned publicly, and it's for a very substantial amount of zinc offtake. And we are working with a number of other parties, some more advanced than others, that really make up practically twice oversubscribed for our zinc concentrate. Lead concentrate, we're in some agreements as well, and the there are more locations that we'll be able to take our lead con. We expect most of that to likely go to Asia or that direction. As far as silver stream, definitely this project has very strong silver component, at a higher throughput rate. It is close to, almost 3 million ounces a year of silver. And we do expect, that'll be, a strong and significant component of financing, possibly up to, a third of the initial project cost with silver stream.
Great. And we do have one other question more on the corporate side, but would you be looking to do a share rollback? Maybe 10-1 was suggested here.
It's definitely been something I've, considered and have had some preliminary discussions. Certainly, from my point of view, possibly in conjunction with, a catalyst that, that really sort of makes sense for the market in terms of either a financing catalyst or something else. And I think at the right time, obviously it would require a special general meeting. And so to try to coordinate something that aligns with that.
Great. Well, thank you again, Rohan, for the presentation today. And thank you everyone for joining us today.